you talk a little bit about the role of synthetic data in the world of training? Sort of traditionally speaking, it's always been the raw sensor data from the platform on which you're working that takes the precedence
Yeah,
in training your models. How is the synthetic crowdsourced data from all the different sources helps you in terms of training, plus some comments on the velocity of the work because you can get more data in a short period of time?
sure. I maybe build it up on the example that you mentioned, the stroller on the road, right? So for the synthetic data, I think there are two important, like the pros that you try to bridge the gap. One, it's, as you mentioned, solving the corner cases, especially those rare, like what we call corner cases, is all rare occurrences. Let's call it that way. So in order to get that rare occurrences, your cost of manually collecting data and annotation goes exponentially, because in order to have just like that simple like that instances of the rare cases, as you need to collect even more data, so that goes exponentially high. So that's the biggest cost for you to get those rare cases. Synthetic data generation definitely helps on this. I'm going to talk about that, and also the second part I will mention. It's the anybody who works on the ML systems, who created some ML models and trained them, knows how important is the augmentation is, how powerful tool is. I think synthetic data generation, having the synthetic data, it's bridging the gap between creating these corner cases or the rare cases, instead of try to manually go and collect this exponential cost, and also have this very powerful tool of the augmentation. I think that's the main lever for the synthetic data. Obviously, it helps to like the bootstrap.
John, I was going to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about data augmentation? What do you mean by that?
So like synthetic data generation, basically you can, let's say you can, what is called in paint, or change the environment. So like you can have you can start saying that it's a sunny day and now it's like the raining day, but also you can have some blur in the data, right? So like some defects, you can start to learn these defects with the power of the generative AI, with maybe very large models. And then this will help you to model to not just to overfit, going back to the previous discussion, not to just overfit the data, but start to see these augmentations and adapt those.